What up, brothers? It's Theclipperking returning for another review on a couple of figures you see in front of you that have been kindly lent to me by a good friend of mine, Wai Man, as you all know, the owner of onesixthbruce, the online store. I will start off by saying this review won't be like my standard reviews, as in multiple poses, multiple cuts, and that. It will be in depth, but I'm going to do it a lot quicker if I can. There is still obviously points I want to talk about, good and bad, but I'm not going to mess about with a figure. I'm pretty much leave them as they are. I've got it all set up, which I don't normally do. I'm going to cover every category while they're in this pose, but I am still going to score them. That's what I want to do, just to sort of bring them in line and give you guys an idea of how highly I rate them. Like I said, first and foremost, massive shout out to Wai Man for offering to lend me these figures. I had been offered to be lent them by someone else, but that sort of fell through. So when Wai Man knew I weren't receiving them from the other guy, he said to me, "Wait, it's not a problem, I can send them you up." I says, "Wait, if you don't mind." So he sent them me up. They came the next day, and he's coming up to my place of work tomorrow to collect them. So massive shout out to him. While I've had him, he has also told me that this set is for sale. So anybody who's interested, I would say act really fast. And I think he's got a couple of more sets still in stock or available, should we say. I think all the sets he's got is this set, and I say that because there were options if you bought direct from the sculptor. Now, I am going to refer to him as Tyler Durden and the Narrator from Fight Club. Licensing reasons, you wouldn't be able to find them as that. They would be, I think, Space Monkey N and Space Monkey T. I think that's what they're called, and I'm not going to say the company's name. Anybody in the know will probably know that. If you're desperate to know it, ask me, either in a private message or on Facebook, and I can tell you the company and the sculptor or the customizer that made them. I will say as well, they are expensive, as you would expect. I have done the Chaplin figure, and I did the Rick Grimes and Daryl Dixon, and I also did the Wall Street Killer. They're made by the same company who made those. The Wall Street Killer, which was lent to me by Matt at Toy HQ, after the review I could have probably sold that figure 4 times over, with people trying to get in touch with me because they didn't realise where they could get it from, or the fact that it was available, and they were trying to pick it up. Now, these figures are sort of in that price range, but they do come as a set. So anybody wanting them, bear in mind, they are custom figures. They do both come with the certificates of authenticity, and they are a short run. So if you do want them, they are going to cost you, but they are really nice figures. Also, I will just say, just because Wai Man sent them me, and he's coming up tomorrow and will see me face to face, that's not going to make me review them dishonestly. I'm going to review them, tell you everything that I feel is good and everything that I feel is bad about them, and there is some bad things. But the things to look out for if you're interested in picking these figures up. But like I said, I know they won't be for everybody, but I know some people will be very interested. So like I say, if there is only 3 sets available and you are wanting to pick one of them sets up, you are going to have to act fast, but expect the price to be up there, sort of thing. So that's my shout outs done and the introduction to the figures. I think first and foremost I'll just explain the pose, because like I said, I'm not gonna move them around. The reason I'm not gonna move them around is, firstly, because I don't want to overhandle them, because like I said, these will be getting bought by someone, and secondly, the bodies are not the best, so I don't want to start messing about and either loosen them off or risk any breakages or whatever, because like I said, somebody is going to be buying these figures, and I don't want to do it. And to be honest, I don't think there's a massive need for it. So what I will be doing is I will take the glasses off the Tyler Durden when I get around to the likeness. So yeah, just got him pretty much, got the Narrator, who is Ed Norton as we know, just kind of in a slumped, depressive sort of pose, because I feel that is his character, sort of down on his luck, bit of a not a deadbeat. He does work for a living, but he's in a job he hates, and I don't know, his life's gone to shit basically, and he needs this Fight Club to sort of perk him up and sort of bring him around, give him some excitement in his life. So that's the pose I've gone for there. Really simple museum pose, but I basically just wanted to show you the head sculpt and the tailoring of the suit, and it is really nice. The Tyler Durden figure, I've gone for a little bit more of not aggressive, but a little bit more confident look. His hands are out sort of challenging. Got his shirt open so you can see the physique underneath. He's got that cocky grin on his face. Like I said, I will take the glasses off, but I do think he does look really good with the glasses on. Palms turn, sort of challenger, legs sort of widespread, and I have sort of tucked his tracky bottoms into his boots. So that is basically the poses that I will rock all the way through. Right, Fight Club, the film. Let's crack onto source material, get some scores on the doors. I was thinking about it earlier, and I thought, is Fight Club a 5 out of 5 film? I do really like it. There's bits to think about. It's not really like anything else. Sort of, I don't know, sort of the reveal at the end. It's not a massive shock to the reveal, but it's one of those that leaves you thinking, oh yeah, I kind of get it now. Were it a top film? That is what I was thinking, and I thought, possibly not. And I know it's sort of a cult classic, and I can understand that, so the guys who love it really love it, and the other passing fans would probably say, yeah, it's pretty good, but they wouldn't go mental over it, and I'm sort of in that category. What I will say on that is, I think Ed Norton has appeared in a better role. The American History X film, I think, would be a better role than this one. And from Brad Pitt's point of view, I do actually like Brad Pitt as an actor, and I would say films like Seven, I would prefer to Fight Club. But that is why I've only given the source material a 4 out of 5, sorry, not gone the full 5 out of 5. But I still think that's a really good score, and obviously both figures get it. Moving on to packaging, I can cover this fast. It is the basic box that you would get from this company. Like I said, I am not going to mention it. You can see the material. On the front is the company name, which I can't show. I showed it earlier on Facebook, and somebody reminded me that I'm not supposed to pose the figure with the company's name, so I'm not going to mention it. There's a magnet side, and the box, the front sort of wraps around, and like I say, it has just got the company's name in chrome lettering on the front. Good quality box, but there's zero graphics at all, other than, like I say, the company name. I kind of liked it when I did the Wall Street Killer and the Walking Dead figures, but the fact that they're using it over and over again, and I can understand it, they're probably cheap to produce and it serves a purpose. Just the foam inlay inside, and then everything's in separate sort of the vacuum packs. But like I said, when you've seen it a few times, I think this is now the 5th or 6th figures I've seen, it does become a little bit underwhelming. So I'm going to give the packaging both a 2 out of 5. Moving on to the likenesses, and like I say, I want to put a short pause in here so that I can get Tyler Durden's glasses off. But I think it does look beastly with them on. So as you see, glasses now off. I will say as well, I'm not totally sure on which versions were available, but from talking to another guy who's got them, Barry Elms, I think he picked up this version of the narrator head, and he also got this version, which is classed as a clean spiked head version. Then he got the spiked head with the cuts on the cheek and the sort of battle damage one, and then he also got an unpainted shaven head version, which I think looks really nice, but obviously it's not been painted yet from the pictures he showed me. These are both the clean versions, and I will say I do like them both, but for different reasons. Right, we'll start on the Ed Norton, the narrator. When I took it out of the box, I took it out at work, and my friends are very critical. They'll either say, yeah, it's good, or yeah, it's amazing, or fucking hell, or they'll say, no, I don't see it. This one, they all knew exactly who it were. They weren't sure which film it were from, but they knew that it was Ed Norton. And when I first looked at it, I thought as well, yeah, very good. Eyes are fucking perfect. The expression, it's got like a depressive look about it, and I think it fits the figure really well. The only thing I weren't sure about at first were sort of the jowl section at the sides of his mouth. I thought they look a little bit too pronounced, a little bit hamster looking. I thought it's not right. It looks like he's got something in his mouth. So I weren't 100% sure. But a lot of you guys will know that when I'm reviewing a figure, I do go and do some background homework and just compare it to the screenshots I can find. Even if it means watching the film and so on and so forth, I will do it. Now, I will say that the more pictures I looked at, I realised that this Ed Norton is bang on. Sculpt and paint looks awesome. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen a battle damage version. And if I were buying these figures, I would personally have gone for the battle damage versions, or the battle damage and the clean version, because it's Fight Club, I think it would have been a nice sort of juxtaposition between the clean looking suit and the battle damage face. I think that would have looked really better. So yeah, I would have gone for the battle damage ones, but the Ed Norton is faultless. I think it is a really good likeness and one of the best Ed Nortons I've seen out there, so really like that. And as well, Barry actually sent me a message. He says, when you do the reviews, will you review the Ed sculpt to the narrator honestly? Now, you guys know he didn't have to ask me that, because I would always do it honestly, and I don't know the point he was trying to make. I don't know if he was trying to say, be honest about it because it's shit, or be honest about it because it's best one out there. I don't know what his point were, but honestly calling it, I think it is an awesome likeness and an awesome paintwork. So on the likeness on the Ed Norton, because it's not the battle damage version, in fact, regardless of that, I'm still going to give it a 5 out of 5. I think it is really good, really well painted, really well sculpted. And I'm going to be honest at this point is, when you buy a figure from this company, you're pretty much buying the head sculpt and the clothes, because other than that, they leave a little bit to be desired. So I think the least they can give you is an awesome head sculpt, and I think on the Ed Norton one, they have done. So I've given it, like I say, a 5 out of 5. Moving on to Tyler Durden, or Brad Pitt. Again, when I took it out of the box, all the guys at work knew who it were. Again, I don't think they were sure of the film, but they could see who it were. Now, I've looked at it, and I have looked at pictures on this one, and to be honest, Nenny asked me about this on Figure Talk last night. The Aldo Raines Brad Pitt, I would say, is the best Brad Pitt out there, still, from what I've seen. I would say that is dead on. This one, it's not dead on, but what I would say is, the sculpt is really good. It's pretty much bang on, but I think the paint is a little bit weak and lets it down a tiny bit. And you find yourself trying to... Let me try and get closer. I can't get my hand position right. Like the puck marks in the skin. And Brad Pitt's got a very... When he smiles, his dimples are really deep or really pronounced, particularly more so now as he's got older as well. I mean, I know this film was sort of, I would think, late 90s. I could be wrong. So at that time, obviously, we're a lot younger than now, but he still had, when he smiled, the smirk here, sort of here, this dimple is more pronounced. Now, I think if this were my figure and I were keeping it, the first thing I would do to this figure is blackwash it, just to leave sort of some black rinse in the recesses of his face, which I think would really strengthen it up. I think the nose and the mouth are really good, but again, I would touch up the lower lip, make it look slightly redder, because if you look at Brad Pitt, he's got a really pronounced lower lip. So I think it's not the sculpt is good, but it's the paintwork's a little bit soft for my taste. But I do think, other than the Aldo Raines, it is the best Brad Pitt out there. I have seen a couple of customs on this figure, and to be honest, they always look a little bit too cheesy, where this one I really like. And if you're on about a representation of Fight Club, then this is the set to get. No two ways about it. So yeah, like from that angle, I think looks really good. One thing I will say as well, and I don't know, the inside of his mouth, because there's no sort of black on the inside, it doesn't really give his lips any depth. If you could black rinse that and leave some black inside his mouth, make his mouth look like it is, that it's not, that his lips aren't together sort of thing. I hope this makes sense. In my mind, I know what it means, but it's hard to explain. Then I think that would look better. Also, the tiny bit of hair on the end of the chin could be darkened up a tiny bit, and also the eyebrows. Although on the camera, the eyebrows do look pretty good. The hair sculpt is amazing. I think it is as screen accurate as they could have done it, because his hair is really, really spiked in this film, if you remember, up to the part where his head is shaved. So, really good likeness. And like I say, I showed it on the webcam over there and it did it no favours. But I think you can see on this camera that they are both really good sculpts. Again, the Tyler Durden, I would definitely have got the battle damage one, more so than the Ed Norton one. but I can only review the version I've got. So, like I said, I give the Narrator 5 out of 5, but I'm only going to give Tyler Durden 4 out of 5, just because the paint needs strengthening up a little bit. Rolling on to the outfit. I will say both outfits, the tailoring and the scale is awesome. And by scale, I mean the fineness of the fabric and the way it fits, although there's multiple layers. I just think that this is one of the strengths of this particular company. Most of you have had a figure from them before will know what I mean. The shirt lays nice, the tie is really nice. Just show you the detail on the tie, it's not just a flat colour. So it has got a proper knot, and then round the back of the neck it's got like a Velcro fastening, so you could take the tie off pretty easy. Like I said, the shirt, like I say, it's tailored to this body. Moving down, I do feel on this one they're just black generic shoes, which I think they did that as well with the Wall Street Killer. It's no bad thing, but like I said, I don't think they've really gone the whole hog with the shoes. This one on the other hand, I've never seen no other shoes like it. They're kind of like the super dry boots that you can get, or like a cross between like a snow boot or I forgot what they're called. It's a proper name for them, but that's what they look like. I was told as well, be careful not knocking these feet together because one boot will scuff the other. That might be the case, but I don't know because I haven't touched them together. Moving up, you have like the nylon looking tracksuit bottoms, really nicely done. Like, I don't think a lot of people would put together these tracksuit bottoms with this shirt and this jacket, but in Fight Club these were the sort of looks that he were rocking. So really nicely done, and again tailored to this body. Moving up, the shirt is accurate. See, it's got the pattern on. Whoa, don't you fucking dare fall over. You see the pattern on it. It were buttoned up sort of there and there, but I like it like that or completely open. I just think it gives a better look of the figure. And then the jacket is a work of art. The only jacket, I think it's real red leather, to be honest, from what I heard, and it were like an expensive extra with the set. Wai Man obviously went for it, and I think that is the best idea, because the other jacket, although it looks accurate, I don't think is a patch on this. Texture wise, I would think if you touched the Carlito's Way jacket, you'd have an idea what it were like. Just sits really well. So underneath there, it has got the collar sort of folded like that, and then the shirt lays on it. Like I say, it does look really nice, really cool look about it. And obviously the intricate work is on the Tyler Durden figure, not so much on the Narrator. So for that reason, I am going to say on outfits, I've given Tyler Durden a 5, because I think not only is it accurate, but it's really, really well made, and it's something out of the ordinary, really eye-catching. On the Narrator, I'm only going to give it a 3, because it is basically just a suit. We've seen suits before. The tailoring work is awesome, the material and everything, but it's just a suit. And like I say, I pretty much think that they slacked on the shoes as well. So that's the scores for that. Articulation. Now, I will say they use 2 different bodies, both very cheap bodies. Brad Pitt, I'm sure, is the It figured body, same as the Rick Grimes came on, which is the soft rubber torso with sort of a ab crunch joint there. The single bend elbow, which is fucking useless to say the least, and I do understand Barry broke the elbow on his. I haven't on these, but it's things like that that stop me wanting to get too mental with that. The articulation feels pretty good through the shoulder and rotation at the top of the arm, which surprised me because I didn't know it had that. Then you sort of bend and swivel at the elbow, like a decent ab movement, and then the legs are fine. I think it's going to be one of them bodies that once it's loosened off, it's never going to tighten back up, which is another reason why I haven't done multiple poses on these figures. They are the cheapest of the cheap bodies. The Ed Norton body, although it comes with the double joint elbow, it's like the really cheap version of a standard true type body. Again, I don't know, it serves a purpose, but it's, you know, there might be breakages along the way. That's the feeling I get. Another thing, the major nitpick with this body is the hand joints. If I show you the hands quickly, you'll notice they all come with hand pegs, apart from this one for some reason. And when a figure comes with this warning with it, Warning, the hand joints is too weak. If it's too weak, why put them fucking on there? That's what I would say. When you try to pull it out, you must use hairdryer to warm it and pull it out very, very carefully. There is no chance we can provide extra joints. Thank you. Now, if a company puts that in on one of the products, they know what's coming down the line. Now, I will say, this hand, I did try to take out to put the hand that would hold the soap. As soon as I touched it, I thought to myself, that is not coming out without breaking. So bear that in mind. I never took it out and it's not broke. I'll show you now. I can't get his left sleeve up. It's not broke. It is still attached. But if anybody buys this figure and can get that hand out without that fucking tiny bit of wrist peg snapping, I'll give you a fucking award, because I don't think there's a way that that's coming out of arm without snapping that peg, and that's honesty for you. This one I never even tried, and I didn't even try on these. You can see the cheapest and nastiest hands available, all of them, although some of them have been sort of painted over with the burn marks. But like I say, if you were to snap that peg, it's just a matter of popping it out and using one of these spares you've got. But like I say, if a company knows that that's what's going to happen, do something about it. Don't just put a fucking piece of paper in that half of people that buy it probably won't read. But like I say, that is the thing, and that is the major nitpick with the bodies. If I were buying either of these figures, of which if I could choose I would buy Tyler Durden, but the first thing I would do is put it on a proper body and get some better hands that actually match the colour of the skin, because these are them shitty, soft, fucking glossy looking hands that don't even match the head sculpt. All the figures from this company seem to have it. It is a cost cutting measure, but I think when you're still paying the prices we're asked to pay for these, I think it should be fucking better than that. So the articulation, taking everything into account, because the narrator articulates better, i.e. the elbows, I am going to give that a 4 out of 5. But bear in mind, it's a really cheap, shite body. So, but I've still given it a 4 because it does articulate. This one, because it's slightly less articulated, and I know that fucking wrist peg is going to be a bastard to get out, I'm going to say on that one, I'm only going to give it a 3 out of 5. So, that's your articulation. Extras. I've got them set up, and I'm going to go through and I will mention what they have different. So we'll start off with the narrators. Firstly, looking here, we've got the warning, the certificate of authenticity, which is nice, although I can't see a number anywhere on it, so I ain't got a clue what it's one of. So, but it is there. And then underneath that, pretty much get the postcard style photo shot, which is nice, and probably would be worth sticking in front of the box because there's no artwork on there. You get the bag generic stand. There's no decals on it, but it would probably cost you a couple of quid to get some Fight Club decals on there and the narrator on the nameplate. So you do get a stand with these, which is unusual because I've seen figures from them before that don't even come with a stand. You get the black and silver baseball bat, which looks really nice. Only downside is there isn't two hands that would hold it correctly. Again, like I said, if you're going to buy these figures, right off the body and fucking sort your son out. You get the fist with sort of the sulphur burn mark. You get the open hand, which is pretty much supposed to be used for holding everything, although it doesn't fit everything. Again, with a burn mark on it. The relaxed one with a burn mark. You can see this burn mark because it's like they've been sculpted on after the fact. This fist that looks like it's come from any other figure, and to be honest, it doesn't even match the other colour hands. So again, an afterthought, and it's things like that that fucking piss me off with it, to be honest, because they've stopped it being a fucking amazing set. But anyway, it's got the business card with the Paper Street Soap Soap Company, as you can see, really nicely done. The Fight Club soap, and the bottle of Budweiser. Advertising deals available. Budweiser, if you want to send me some merch, please do so. So that's the narrator stuff. Tyler Durden's is pretty much the same, although it does come with two extra hands. Now, this one is for holding the bar of soap, which it will do. This one is for holding a cigarette, which doesn't come with a set. So I think to myself, you just reminding us that there's a fucking cigarette or smoke or fucking woodbine missing. Although I would have gone for them hands in had I been able to get that one out easier than it would have turned out to be. So yeah, and I think as well, just on about a smoke, I think if he had got a cigarette, it would have fit in sort of the left side of his mouth and made him look really, really cool. But anyway, it didn't. Again, you get the baseball bat, the business card, the soap, another bottle of Budweiser, is sort of rose-coloured shades, which do look really nice on. Generic stand, again with no decals, and then the warning for the ampegs, the certificate of authenticity, and a postcode shot of the figure. Oh, I will say as well, both come with the bag, briefcase with the file bag on it. Both come with that, and his is there. So I did put them there. So yeah, like I say, better hands would have been a must. I think hands that would actually hold the stuff that it brings would have been better. If it were the full set with all the available heads, it would have bumped them up to a 5 probably. And if the stands would have come with decals. But as you see, it is what you will be buying if you were to buy it from Wai Man at onesixthbruce. For scoring purposes, I'm only going to give it a 3, straight down the middle. There's things is missing, but there's things they included that are really nice. Particularly the bar of soap has been really well done. The Budweiser bottles, obviously with the micro printing, is really good. And I do like the fact that they have tried to put these scars on the hands. It's just that they've used shit hands to start with. It just rankles with me a little bit. But anyway, so for the extras, I'm giving both a 3 out of 5. Value. Now, you can't buy these directly from me. You're going to have to go straight to Wai Man. I don't know what they would have cost you if you'd have gone straight to the company that made them. I don't even know if you can do that. Like I said, to be honest, they weren't figures I were looking to buy. They were figures I were offered to review. And I will go back on what I said. I think they are the best Fight Club figures out there. And if you're a Fight Club figure fan or Fight Club film fan, these would be the set to get. But like I said, keep in mind, like I've said, if you were to get them, factor in it might be better to get a better body. Like that one, for example, I would probably go, I think a Bruce Lee body would be too small. But I would go for something like an Hawkeye body or a Wolverine body or the Royce body, something like that. I think that's what I'll go for with that. That one, it don't really matter. Slim shoulder, true type would do for that. So factor that in, because with that, you're going to get another set of better hands. So, like I said, the hands are usable, but like that, for me to put that baseball bat in any of these hands, I'd struggle, and I know it wouldn't look real, so I wouldn't even fucking use it. But anyway, like I said, the price, now, like I said, they come in a set, and I think the price is somewhere around £500, maybe just over. It did send me the information, but I ain't got my phone on me at a minute to look. Now, £500 for me, and I'm going to be honest, is a little bit too rich for my blood. Not that I can't afford it, it's just that I can't justify it, because you basically, you sort of, for 500 quid nowadays, I think you can get about 4 low-end Hot Toy figures if you shop around and you eBay them. And I think to me saying, are they worth 4 Hot Toys figures? I don't know. But what I would say on top of that is, I know that is the price. The price is the price. It can't be haggled with. But I know that once these have sold, you won't see them on eBay for a very long time. And if you don't believe that, try going on eBay now, straight after this review, and typing in either Wall Street Killer or the Cowboy or, I don't know, the Town Sheriff or the Crossbow Hunter. You try typing any of them in with a company name that make them and see if you can find them. Because I think once these sets are gone, they're gone. And the people that own them will be making an investment. I think £500 layout or just over, them figures aren't coming down in price. That is what I honestly feel. So the value for me, straight down the line. They're expensive to buy, like I said, compared to Hot Toy or Entebbe, but you won't see these circulating on the Facebook trading groups anytime soon. So you either strike while the iron is hot and buy them, or you leave them and you'll never own them. That is what I would say. But the value, for the sake of scoring it, I'm going to give them a 3 out of 3, because like I say, only the future knows what the price will do. But like I say, I don't think Wai Man's making a killing by any stretch, because I think he pays them in at top price anyway and pretty much sells them on at more than reasonable. Because I think others I know, well, I spoke to Barry, and I know what he paid for his, and I think he bought his direct from source. And I tell you now, he'd have been happy to pay Wai Man's prices, particularly to get the red jacket as well. But anyway, so the totals, funnily enough, because some have been scored differently, they both ended up with 24 and a possible 35, which is a kind of average score. But like I said, once you can get past the fact that not everything on is amazing, there is little niggles, what I would say is the head sculpts are both really good. Like I said, I would think if I were keeping that, I would definitely touch it up with some black wash or something else. I would do something just to strengthen the paintwork up. The sculpt is awesome. On this one, the sculpt is awesome and the paintwork is awesome. That figure is good to go. That one, just little niggles. I would be picking up a cigarette for it, for the look I would want, and I would be putting it on a better body. But all in all, that's all I can say. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that review's been a little bit shorter than my normal reviews, but looking at the timer, I don't think it has been. Like I said, I'm sorry that I've not done multiple poses, but again, you've got to respect the fact that somebody will own this figure probably by the end of the week. I will also say, and I know it don't make a difference to a lot of you, but recently I've been asked to sign figures. If you wanted this figure signing, you do want to buy a Fight Club set from Wai Man and you want me to sign it, that I've reviewed it, I will get a silver or gold Sharpie marker and I will sign the backs just to put reviewed by the Theclipperking, if that makes any difference to you. But for that to happen, you would have to let me know by lunch that you'd paid Wai Man for it. Would I sign it? And obviously I will sign it, not a problem, and don't be embarrassed to ask. If that's what you want, I will do it. But for now, it's Theclipperking. Massive thanks to Wai Man for letting me see these figures. Massive thanks to you guys for supporting me and sticking with me. Please like and comment on the video. If somebody could attach it to the right thread on Sideshow Freaks, I'd respect that. But for now, it's Theclipperking, and I'm out of here.